Hello, welcome back. This time I wanted to make this video to talk about my experience with the Sony A7 V. So I bought the Sony A7 V around 7 months ago when it first released. It has been my main body and my main camera for the past 7 months. So this whole year I've gotten to shoot weddings, corporate work, documentaries, YouTube videos. I've gotten to shoot so much stuff for different variety of my clients, and I've gotten to shoot so much variety of content utilizing this camera, and I've found how versatile it is in all of these different situations, in all of these different environments. It performs really good. And I do not see the A7 V get mentioned a lot when it comes to some of the top cameras, top performers. We have the FX3, we have the Sony A7S III. Not many people talk about the A7 V, and I honestly think it deserves it. To be honest, I think it competes with the FX3 and the FX5. I picked this over an FX3 because of how strong it is on photography as well. Here it is, here I have it. Right now it's paired with the Sirui anamorphic lens autofocus 50mm. I was getting it ready because I will be shooting a short film next weekend, a horror short film with this lens and with this camera and that lens, paired with that lens. So I just wanted to demonstrate how it looks with the lens, and let's talk about this camera. And my experience with this camera for the past 7 months that I've gotten to utilize this body. And I won't be diving much into specs. I just want to show you guys my experience and what I was able to do with it, and maybe even show some examples of the work I've captured with it. And hopefully you guys can get a review from someone that uses this on a daily basis and makes money out of it. This is my work too, but this is also my creative tool, so I use it for both. The Sony A7 V in low light has been a really solid performer with both photo and video. The dynamic range with photo, I know it was improved. They did some performance on the dynamic range when it comes to photography. I really like that I do not feel limited in low light, something that we know Sony is very good at. In video, we have the dual base ISO for S-Log3, which is 800 and 8000. Although I don't know if 8000 was ever confirmed, so I've used ISO 8000 in low light for weddings, for events, mostly because I'm not able to control my lighting that much. So if you're a wedding filmmaker, I think this is a solid camera for you to use, because I don't notice any grain when I utilize the ISO for from 800 to 32 or maybe 2500, and then I cranked it all the way to 8000, and then that's where the grain disappears and it gives you another clear image. And I believe this is such a sweet spot for a second base ISO, because with the Sony FX3 and the Sony A7S III, we have it at 12,800. And I remember using it at events, and it was just so much. With your highlights would be blown on one side. It was a solid image. You would get a very well exposed image. It's just highlights would be overpowered. It is such a sweet spot for a second base ISO. I really like that they did that. I know the new FX5 is gonna have 3. I don't know if it's 640, 800, and then 4000, and then 12,800. And for most of my work, I shoot everything in S-Log3, and I color grade in Final Cut with Dehancer. It is a little bit different to match than my other Sony cameras, but I really like the color that comes out of it. It's I don't know, it's just something so rich about the image, because you have oversampled 6K, an oversampled 6K sensor that is compressed into 4K. And I just feel like you can notice that difference in this camera. You can notice that detail. With autofocus, I have absolutely no complaints about. Super fast autofocus, and it also matters which lens you use, I would say mostly, because the A7 V is not as limited with autofocus. It has the new AI technology, which allows you to track your subject and capture it. Some of the things that I've been really impressed with this camera, there's a lot of things. One of them that it's the most noticeable is the battery life. I get longer battery life compared to my past Sony cameras, the Sony A7S III, the Sony A6700. I get a longer battery life. For example, I could shoot a whole wedding day 2 to 3 batteries. Like, I just charge my batteries in the morning. I don't have to charge batteries throughout the day. If I just have 3 batteries charged, I can film a whole wedding with those 3 batteries. Also, another thing that I really like about this camera is not like it matters so much in terms of specs and how good it is, but I really enjoy the way the body looks. It's a kind of thicker body, which feels more sturdy in a way, like more resistant to impacts and falls like that. I'm a very clumsy guy. I've dropped this a couple of times. Let's take a look at the sensor. And I think it also helps that I always keep the cage on it, because I've dropped this thing a couple of times and it has been pretty resistant. It feels like a safe body, like you can rely on it for a rough shoot. Something else, and something that is some of my favorite things about this camera, is a new screen that they added to it. So with this new screen, we have a little bit of more flexibility throughout the shoot, especially if you're on a quick shoot and you have no time for a monitor, you don't even have a monitor or anything like that. You can rely so much on this little screen. I don't know, it's just something different. This is the first camera I have that has this. I know they added it to the new Sony FX5. They had done this with an A7R, and I just wanted to show you guys examples of what this camera can produce more than showing you the camera itself. I've done a video about that, I think my first impressions with it, but I just wanted to show now what I was able to achieve with this camera for the past 7 months. This camera is great for everything. That's my main point of this video, is like, this camera is good if you're a hybrid shooter, if you're exploring and you want to do a little bit of photography, a little bit of video, some short films. I've rigged it up for interviews, short documentaries. Let's say you're between the A7 V and the FX3, like I was, and I just went with the A7 V because of how good it is for photography. I know the FX3 can still shoot photos, but you have that 33 megapixel sensor on the A7 V. Makes your photos just a little bit more professional. Or even if you're doing like magazine style photography, you get more detail with this. I haven't had any overheating issues. I know it doesn't have a fan. I'm not really sure if this has a fan, but no overheating issues at all. I shot a wedding last weekend at 100-degree weather. I shot a ceremony outside at 100-degree weather, and the ceremony lasted about around 35 minutes, and the Sony A7 V performed amazing. Just to conclude the video, I just believe this is a solid, reliable camera for all type of work, photography and video. And I'm just not saying that because I got it and I want to make myself feel better about it. I just honestly think it's so good. Like, I've had no trouble with it, and I'm a guy that it's shooting almost every day. And if it's not for a client, it's something for myself. I'm shooting some reels, some content, some TikTok, some YouTube. And it has been a strong performer for my work, and I encourage anyone that wants to get it that you won't regret it. It's not a camera that you're gonna get and you're gonna get tired of it. It's a camera that you are truly going to enjoy. I really wanted to add a section about things that annoy me about the A7 V, but in reality, there's not many things that annoy me about it. But yeah, hopefully this is helpful for someone looking to upgrade or looking for a new camera, looking to upgrade to full frame, or if you're a hybrid shooter that feels limited by your current setup. If you have any questions about my setup or anything about the A7 V in general, throw them my way, put them in the comments. I'll try to be posting more consistently. I'll try to bring some content and maybe even show more examples of the A7 V in use.